Hi, I'm Luke Brandon Field, and I'm on the Yes No Maybe podcast.
Are we good?
Yeah, good.
Oh, all right.
You might not be able to have gum in there.
Okay, gotcha. Yes.
Spit it out, man.
Put in there.
Spit it out in the wee thing.
Oh, do an Anna. Just swallow it.
No, fucking hell, mate. Jesus Christ. Is this going to go in the video?
What type of podcast is this? Can we keep this PG?
Like that. Anna swallows
I have young fans.
and she swallows her
No,
gum.
we had the jelly babies and I swallowed it and you were like, fuck, you chewed that fast.
No, but even when we've been out a few times, you've had gum in your mouth, and I'm like, "Where's the
Oh,
gum?"
my days, this is too good.
Anyway, let's go.
Luke,
I don't know what to say.
welcome.
Hi.
Luke Brandon Field.
Hi.
Hey.
One field, yeah.
In
Yes,
one
no
field,
less.
not fields. Sorry about that. Anna was
It's
like,
okay.
"Oh, I've just sent it to him. He corrected me." I was like, "Oh shit."
We just never know. People are like, Luke Brandon Fields. And I'm like,
Yeah.
multiple of
Do,
those?
do you
It
get that a
flows.
lot?
Sometimes, yeah.
Is Brandon your middle name, or
Uh,
is it as part of your surname?
Part of my surname. Yeah.
Oh,
Daniel was my middle name.
was
Daniel and Moses.
what?
Yeah,
That's
Moses.
cool.
Yeah, right?
Luke Daniel Moses Brandon Field.
Yeah.
That's an epic name.
That's an epic name.
Mm.
Say that 6 times
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that's
Say
a
it
good
after
tongue-
3 shots
That's
to see how you
a
feel.
good tongue twister
Yeah,
to warm the
exactly.
voice up before you go on set. Yeah.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, there
It's
we
good,
go.
yeah.
Okay, so you are a musician, you're an actor,
Yeah.
you're a songwriter,
Guess so.
multifaceted, multi-talented,
Terrible dancer.
terrible dancer.
I disagree, actually. I think you're a great dancer.
Oh, wow. That's so nice of you.
Yeah.
Wow. Compliments already.
Yeah.
Not even 2 minutes in. This is amazing. I should come in here more often. This is great.
London boy,
Born and raised.
but live in the States in LA.
Between Los Angeles and London, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Born and raised there.
What came first? Was it the acting? Was it the songwriting?
The egg or the chicken?
Yeah.
What came first? When I was like, I don't know, when I was at school, I was in a punk band. It was great, except, you know, we'd had like 8 songs and we'd perform them all in 12 minutes because we were too nervous. And so we were just like, let's get off stage immediately.
Were you the singer?
I
or
was
did
the
you
singer,
play?
yeah. But it was like in the height of the indie era, you know. It was, I listened back to the stuff not that long ago, and it's like just Arctic Monkeys and Strokes ripoffs. It's great, but it was fun. And at my school at the time, there was like a lot of bands being signed amazingly. Like Cajun Dance Party and Bombay Bicycle Club, who was still really big.
School?
Yeah, they were awful.
No
Yeah.
way.
Wow.
It was this hub of like indie mecca at the time.
That's so cool.
We didn't get signed though. It's okay. We've moved on from that. It's fine. But I realized I didn't really want to do that, and I wanted to be an actor, or at least like go to drama school and see if it worked out. And I was very lucky. I went to drama school for a year in New York, and I think my mom just thought it was an itch I wanted to scratch, and I really enjoyed it. It's just New York was super expensive at the time, as it always is, and you're like, I don't really have any money. Like I can only afford to like live here for a certain amount of time, and there's only so much soup that you can drink, you know. I was just really lucky. I got into university here to study drama and film theory, and then I got a scholarship at UCLA, and I sort of never looked back. It was just one of those, like, if you work hard, it will happen. And, you know, if, you know, and you have fun along the way, but you just have to keep working towards a goal. And it's always been like that in my career, you know.
Did you always get pulled to America, or is that just where all the work is?
No, I always had a fascination with America. My grandmother is American. My great-grandfather was born in Brooklyn. I didn't know him, but, you know, I think there's just always been something which has always been fascinating for myself and my father about America. It was only the place where I went on holiday a lot as a kid, whether it was Disneyland, whether it was New York. We briefly lived in Central Florida for a little bit with an evil stepmother.
Oh.
So
Why was she evil?
she's just terrible. She's just an awful person, you know. But I actually, it's kind of maybe TMI, but I actually found out she was awful because she butt dialed me once, and I heard that she was sort of like being unfaithful. So it was like an episode of Gossip Girl or EastEnders.
How
like,
long did you listen before you were like,
Like
okay, I shouldn't
25
listen?
minutes. Like butt dialed me, and it was pretty crazy. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this, but it was pretty crazy.
I mean, to be fair, I've had a situation like that once
Yeah?
before when I was 18. Yeah, I was gossiping with a bunch of school friends, and my phone was in my pocket here,
as we do in school. And I had called a guy that I was kind of like vibing with, and it went to his voicemail, and I was telling all my friends all about it, and he heard the whole thing. And that was the end.
You got
of that.
rumbled.
Yeah. So,
Dangerous.
it does happen.
Yeah.
Airplane mode, guys. Airplane mode.
And I love
Wow.
airplane
Yes.
mode.
Speaking from experience.
No, just
Gotcha.
you know.
So, and your dad is a producer, is that correct?
He is a multifaceter. I wouldn't say he's a producer, but I would
Okay.
say that he has done lots of varied things in his career. I get most of my music taste from him because he started, his first job was he was the post boy at Arista Records in 1977.
Wow.
My uncle was a massive Lou Reed fan, and he said to my dad, could you go pick up these publicity shots of Lou? And these are the days you can just go to the record label and be like, hi, I just want some photos of my favorite pop star. And he did, and they said, hey, do you need a job? And this is 1977. This is sort of in the height of unemployment during pre-Thatcherite Britain. And he was like, yeah, okay. And so the next day he went in, he was the post boy, and he worked with like Lou Reed and Iggy Pop and Patti Smith and
Wow.
basically Rollers and Clive Davis. I mean, it was crazy. So I kind of got that from him, but he's done so much varied stuff where he's worked in the music industry. He's worked, for Disney and EMI, and then he made documentaries, and then this whole alien autopsy stuff. So
So is your dad your inspiration?
he's my best friend. I mean, yeah, he's super inspiring to me. I'm very, very lucky. I'm aware not everyone has the same relationship with their parents as I do, but yeah, he's my best friend, and he also lives in LA, so he makes the place just a lot, I don't know, just better to be in.
That's nice. We were just talking about that earlier, like what makes a place a home.
Sure.
Is it the people,
Mhm.
or is it an affinity to the place that you're from or that you're living in now? What is home for you?
I think London is always going to be home, but to move across the world and start a new life is very scary, and it really is about the people. Like I like LA as a place, and there's amazing like unique things about it. You have the beach, not that I go to the beach, but you have the mountains you can hike, you have the city, you're hours away from snow, but I think it's about the people, and it's so difficult to start a new life, and especially in LA, to make new friends and people that you really care about,
Yeah,
especially when
it's
you're from
tough.
London. Like most of my friends here have been friends for 30 years. They're like family to me. But there, I'm just super lucky. I have a great group of friends, and people are also, I think it's different because everyone's relatively within the same industry. They're all artists, whether they're interior designers, whether they're actors, whatever, producers, whatever, writers. But it's just inspiring because you don't feel alone. And I feel in London sometimes, I have a few friends who are actors who I grew up with, and it's great to see them. But I definitely think that there's more of a camaraderie in LA. When someone's making something, like, you want to support them and you want to hear about what they're up to and hear about the whole development and struggle and the benefits, and it inspires you every day. And it's also like, it's beautiful. You wake up in the morning, it's super sunny. Sometimes here,
Makes a difference,
doing it
doesn't
on
it?
a cold night in Stoke on a Tuesday ain't fun,
Not the
so
same.
no.
Well, that's how we met you. I mean, Kendall was writing something, which is top secret for now. And there was a dinner that was organized around that with your friend Keith and a couple of
yeah,
it was
yeah,
all
yeah.
a lot of your nearest and dearest, actually. It's funny, I didn't know anything about you, but we were kind of on the same side of the table.
Yeah.
And I knew you were someone.
You did?
I kind of felt like you were an actor.
Okay.
And then we bonded over our love of football.
Yeah.
You are freakishly a Hibernian fan
Yeah.
and an Arsenal fan.
Easter Road.
I don't know anyone.
Hibs are having a great season, by the way. This is most amazing. Like, they were bottom of the SPL, and now they're third. And I think it's David Gray, the manager, has just done an incredible job.
I'm not following Hibs.
You should,
Please
because
don't judge me.
it's you know what the Hibernian song is?
Yeah,
It's one of my
course.
favorite pop songs written of all time.
It's an epic song.
It is. What is it?
Are you going to sing it for us?
My heart was broken. My heart was broken. Sorrow. Anyway, that's it.
There
we go.
Proclaiming it, Sunshine and Leith, eh?
Yeah.
Hey.
I know nothing about any of this.
Okay.
So,
So
I'll just
Hibernian
nod
is
and wave.
I'm from Edinburgh, and Hibernian is like one of the local teams. So I was in shock that he knew about Hibernian.
Yeah.
Where's your granddad? No? It's your great granddad.
No, I just have always been interested in them. I think one of my favorite Scottish players of all time, John Collins, used to play for them. He's a really good player. And what's his name? John McGinn, who's at Aston Villa, used to be there.
and then Arsenal, obviously.
Yeah. My true love.
So and then I said, so what do you do? And you said you're an actor, and I said, have you been in anything? And you were like, Interview with the Vampire, and I was like, fuck off.
Yeah, your eyes. Just,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, have I said the wrong thing?
No,
Is this
I
gonna
was like,
hate?
oh my God. And then
Yeah, I was just,
friendship was born.
yeah, I was just like ensconced, you know. I was like, wow, she likes football. She loves Arsenal. Like,
Loves records. No,
Loves
you were schooling me
records.
on music. You were like, what's your favorite film score? And I
that's
was
very
like,
nice of you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do remember
I was like,
that.
Blade Runner. And you were like, so did you know this and this? And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, you're schooling me.
Listen, I was just happy to be in your company. It was great.
Yeah. Like,
It was a really nice dinner.
It was a
It
nice
was
dinner. And that
actually.
was
You were
because of
you were slightly further in the middle, so I didn't really get a lot of time to
No,
talk
we
to you.
yeah, we didn't have much chat, but that's okay.
Yeah,
'cause
we're here now.
We're here now, and we're finding out
Exactly.
about you
No,
and
I
your life
appreciate
and
that.
all your, all your in between moments.
Yes. By the way, it's a great shirt.
Thank you.
Really good.
You know, I wasn't gonna
You rocked
go
it.
for it, and then
Double
I
denim
did.
is
It's
strong.
good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is
Yeah.
it Canadian tuxedo, Swedish
Yes.
tuxedo.
Canadian.
Okay.
Canadian tuxedo.
Party on.
Um,
Okay.
I feel like you're about to, break out into song. This is a very
I don't know what this
interesting
is.
way
I
to
feel
hold a
like
mic.
This is like a Billy Idol, Alvin Stardust pose, but I'll keep with it. It feels natural.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
It,
I
it
feel like I'm on
looks natural.
MTV. Hey, listen, this is Billy Idol, and you're watching MTV.
Do you remember MTV? And
I do.
there was a talk show that was on like every afternoon.
TRL,
TRL.
Carson Daly,
Carson Daly.
Yes.
Carson Daly.
formidable. Like
Yeah.
what? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
I grew up watching that. And, it would be sessions like this, and they'd sit down, they'd
Yeah.
interview artists,
Yes.
and you'd have New York in the background.
That's right. It was on
Yeah.
Times Square.
Yeah.
I remember it very well. I
And-
remember being a kid and seeing it being filmed, like looking up from
Yeah.
Times Square, and
And
it was like Justin Timberlake.
And feeling so inspired by like all these artists, and,
And you're here.
yeah.
You're your own Carson Daly.
I know. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at us.
I was about to say you're the Durban Carson Daly, but I know you're not from Durban.
No, I lived there for a little bit.
High school
It's
for 2
a part
years.
of my
Gotcha.
yes,
Yeah.
it is a part of me. So we'll go with that. I want to circle back because you said in LA, like, you've got great camaraderie there,
Yeah.
which I find really interesting because a lot of people move to LA to be an actor, and everyone's an actor, and so the competition is very high.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with competition and navigating, just being on a casting couch and seeing the same people and trying to get the one role?
Well, the first thing is that the in-person casting doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
Sadly.
So that for me, I much prefer doing a tape
Okay.
because I can do it at home. I can do it with somebody that I know will give a good reading, and like we can continue to work on it. You can do 20 takes, you can do 5 takes, whatever, and you can also be in control of like how you look, the lighting, and what your perception is, and have a conversation with the person. And it's not stressful. Back in the day, you'd go to an audition and it could be across the city, and you're driving there and there's traffic, you don't know where to park, and you don't know where the office is, and then you walk in and there's like 12 to 15 people, and some of them look like you, and some of them are murmuring to themselves, some people are shouting and screaming, you're hearing the audition happening, the assistants are on the phone being like, is Daniel Radcliffe available for this role? And you're like, this is a madhouse. Like, this is like, it's just a psych out.
Yeah.
And always when it was my turn, the cast director was like, I'm just going to the bathroom, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, I'm just ready to go.
I've been there.
And so like this, like, I just don't think about it. And in terms of competition, I remember this story many years ago when I first moved to LA. One of my very close friends, he and I went for the same audition. We drove together. It was really nice. And I did it, and it was fine. And then he did it, and he was in there for like 20 minutes. Now, he was on a television show about wolves and teens. He came out 25 minutes later, and he booked the job. And I was like, wow. And I remember thinking to myself, I could either get like really weird about it, or I could just be really happy for him, because he's my friend and I'd rather he got the job. And that's kind of how I've always looked at it. If my friend succeeds and they do well, then it's like a win for the team, really. And that's really great. And it shouldn't be selfish. It should just be like, I'd rather you got it, somebody that I know who deserves it, rather than, you know, a random person. But really, it's the best person for the job. And I think if you have that attitude, then the positivity kind of just shines on you, you know. 'Cause you
I
get
admire
yours.
that because that's hard.
It's hard for sure.
That's you know, I mean I've had situations in my life in my younger days, you know, because we are getting wiser.
Yes.
Where I've had to really like say, Kendall, come on, like change my mindset around it, because you know, certain people have booked things that I haven't, or you know, even people that I know, and I've had to say that's not my journey, it's their journey.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not right for me, and it's not my time yet.
I think it's a great way of looking at it.
But it's hard.
I think it's also like, if you're good and you work hard on it, your time will come.
Yeah.
It might not be for this. It's like you get down to the last two for a job. Like, it's a horrible, sickening feeling. And it's happened so many times and it never feels great. But as you say, like, the way to pick yourself up is to reframe it. Like, this wasn't meant to be for me, and that's okay. And the next one maybe is, or the next one afterwards. And I've always felt that. I've come close to like pilots that never got picked up, or movies that didn't do well, or just stuff that you just like wasn't meant to be. And you think, oh, I'm so lucky. And I look back on like the last 5-6 years of my filmography, and I've been pretty lucky to like do some really quality, amazing stuff. And again, those were meant to be, you know? So I'm inspired by that.
So when you finally got, because, you know, this is a podcast called Yes, No, Maybe.
Yes.
So, you know, all the no's that lead up to the yeses, you know, Jojo Rabbit must have been a huge yes. A huge one. So what was that moment like where suddenly it was like, it's you, we want you, you know?
I got the email in the morning and I sprung out of bed and landed on my feet and then stubbed my toe. So it was like, yes! And then, oh, shit. And
Back down to earth.
Back down to earth.
You know, we're going to let you go there for a second.
It's
and
this
then
weird,
back
like,
out.
bittersweet moment. You know, when you stub your toe and
Yeah.
you just, like, you want to hold it in as much as possible, but you also want to scream. That was how I felt. And then I think the first people I called my dad. And then I called my mom and she was engaged on the phone. So I called my grandparents and I was like, I got this job. And, you know, I'm Jewish. And my grandparents were like, what's the movie? Who are you playing? And I was like, a Nazi. Sorry, come again? I'm playing a Nazi. Yeah, that's what we thought you said. Is it a comedy? And I said, yeah, it's a comedy. And then there was dead silence for about 12 seconds, the longest 12 seconds of my life. And my grandparents are like in their 80s at this point. And then my grandmother said, you know, if it worked for Mel Brooks, it could work for you. And then from then on, it was
sweet.
But it was, you know, it was an amazing moment. And I certainly learned so much. And just being on that set with such amazing actors.
What was it like working with Taika?
Yeah, he was amazing. Like, he is, he'll give you directions quietly. He'll like whisper something in your ear and you just do it and it lands. And you're like, bro, that's insane how that just worked out like that. Like, you just had the foresight to see that. And his level of detail is great. It was a bit weird because he directed me while he was wearing the Hitler suit, but you know. You know, it's an experience. It was cool, you know, because we were shooting later on that day. And so when he was shooting all of the stuff in the Hitler Young Vogue camp, it's, you know, he was doing all of his stuff. So he's in his garb and the fat suit or whatever and the straightened hair. And yeah, it was certainly a vibe. It was weird to like, I'm not going to lie, when we were putting on the costumes and they were like, oh, you've left your sash behind. I was like, oh, what is it? And then they put it on. It's a swastika. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't recognize myself. This is so strange. Funnily enough, never in my life did I ever think I'd be wearing a swastika, you know, Sieg Heiling Hitler. But, you know, in some places it's very fashionable, I guess, weirdly, unfortunately.
Did you have to kind of, you know, how they say, you know, sometimes as an actor, you've got to let go of things on set, you know?
Yeah.
Did you have like a step out process or?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of freaked me out. I've never been particularly very religious. You know, I love chicken soup jokes and bagels. So, you know, that was about as far as it got into it. But no, it made me like want to learn a little bit more about where I came from, my identity. So that was really cool. But, you know, because the movie is satire and a comedy, it's like, had a conversation with Tiger about it, being like, this feels weird, and Tiger's half Jewish or Jewish, and he was like, "You're meant to be here. You are meant to do this. Like, it's the last thing that they want. So like, we're sticking it to them." And it's like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. This is so cool. And then you kind of get into it. And we did, we did a lot of research in terms of preparing for the role and reading up about, there were specific books that were set to us from Tiger about the Third Reich and the Hitler Young Vogue, and it was amazing to like read about them, to really get into character, to understand. It's a huge part of it. I love preparing for a role. It's one of, for me, that's like the fun and games is where it starts.
So all the research, the investigative
I
process.
do that with every single role,
Yeah.
depending on like, and it's much better obviously if it's period, because then you can really get into the period. And yeah, I've played a lot of period stuff. So.
Do you break down a script in detail? Do you action everything, or do you?
Yeah, you break down a script. I mean, that's what we were taught at drama school. That's actually like one of the biggest like valuable pieces that you learn at drama school, is how to break down a script. To be honest, you learn most of the acting stuff when you're practically doing it.
Yeah,
That's what
when
I
you
always found.
get thrown onto set and you
Big time, and then you got to
learn as you go.
You got to
Yeah.
swim. You just got to go. But that was super important. And then how to sort of get into character. And again, it's like creating a backstory and writing what your pre-existing life was, but immersing yourself in the culture, the time, the socioeconomic, political stuff, and learning about the context.
Do you combine a little bit of your personality, yourself, into your role, or are you strictly, this is not me, this is the part I'm playing?
I think you look for certain things, of course. I think in each part, in each character, there's been little facets of detail. But, I lose myself, especially when it comes down to when you're doing an accent. When I'm doing like a British voice and it's RP.
Your
or
accents
something
are
like
amazing.
that. Accents go all over the place. I feel like I'm,
Got a good ear.
I didn't know. I guess it comes from music,
Yeah.
like listening to so much music, you kind of train your ear.
Yeah, because it's musical for sure.
Yes.
Accents, yeah.
Very much so.
And
You
where,
hear
where
your mouth placement is.
and you can learn those things. You
Yeah.
can have someone say, your tongue needs to be here, the American, your R's need to be rounded,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But it's a gift to be able to just
It's like
musically.
an instrument.
Yeah.
It's
Have
like
you ever done, sorry to interrupt, have you ever done it with a trainer to
Yeah.
train your voice? Or
I
is it
first
all...
moved to America.
Okay.
I was with an accent coach for like a year. It was super important. And then he said, just go out and pretend to be American.
Yeah,
Go
just
to
talk.
Go to the
Yeah.
supermarket, go wherever you want to go and just pretend. And I would even do that here when I would come here for work. Just pretend to be American. Go on a night out in Camden, pretend to be American. It's weird. But we did it.
Yeah, I remember we had family friends that moved to Texas from South Africa. So South African accent is, I don't know if I have a South African accent anymore. I'm not sure. It's
Yeah.
kind of- oh, okay.
You do.
Okay, I do then. I do. It's
It's
got
great.
a twang. It's got a twang. And she moved to Texas, and she would go to the store and try order things, or drive through and try order a burger from McDonald's, and they just didn't understand her because our accent is so flat, so she had to start tweaking it. And then she came back to South Africa with this like weird hybrid of these R's and these rounded like tones. And yeah, it was just a city definitely changes how you have to kind of immerse yourself into
And
a space
adapt.
sometimes in order to adapt.
Did she start the country music revolution in South Africa?
That's exactly what you did. How
Cool.
did you know?
I thought so. Okay.
Tell us a little bit about your music. I had a deep dive.
Yeah.
And
You hated it.
I loved it.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Do you know what? Your voice is not what you'd expect. I remember we were driving in the car and you played me your music. And
Yeah.
you were like, it's not going to sound like what you think. And I was like, shit, you're so right.
You were expecting trap or like...
No, just you sound, you're
Rhythm and
tonally,
blues.
I don't know. What did you think?
No, I don't know. I just I love this. I'm so bad when it comes to music. Like I don't even know how to describe things, but I loved your sound as a duo, because you're a
Thank you.
duo,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And it's very catchy and commercial, but not. It's got like an old school kind of feel.
Yeah. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And yeah, are you like, tell us a bit about that process, because it's different to acting, although it's the same. You're still creating art, and
It's a great way to get your emotions out, especially
Yeah.
in really tough times. I met Camilla in, 2017. And I didn't know who she was. I was with a friend of mine, and she was a big fan of her band, her previous band called Her, which she was with her ex-girlfriend, who was one of the leads in a show called The L Word. So it's got like
Yeah.
a big following. And my friend was just like, oh my God, that's Camp Grace. She's so cool. So I was like, let's just go up and talk to her. She was like, no, we can't do that. I was like, fuck it. And I just went up to her, introduced myself, and we just became really like fast friends. And we just like had similar interests in music, especially when it came to like synth and new wave. And again, like I hadn't been in a band or done anything since, I don't know, the early noughties or whatever. Can we call it the noughties?
Yeah, you can.
All right, great. And I think one night I was just at her house and I was just singing to the Killers or something. And she was like, oh, you have a good voice. We should do something. And, you know, it's LA. We should do something.
yeah, it's like
hang
we should go
out.
for coffee.
Let's grab a
We're
coffee.
never
And
going
like-
for coffee.
And you're like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever you want. And then 3 months happened and I was going through a breakup with a long-term ex and I was pretty down. And she said, why don't you come over? And she had a bottle of whiskey and I was like, don't mind if I do. And she was like, can I play you some stuff? And she played me some like instrumental beats that she'd made. And she said, why don't you just like freestyle over it? And I was like, I've never done this before, but okay. And just, I don't know, things just opened up in my heart. And it just like vomited out of my mouth. And she was like, there is something here that's really great. And I recorded it. And I was like, what? I didn't mean for this to happen. And it turned out to be one of the tracks, which we kind of honed for the next 5 years. And then, I don't know, 2 years ago, we were like, maybe we should like bring some of this out. We've worked on it. We've done like 16 songs. Like maybe we should, you know, keep doing this. Music is not my, you know, it's not my job. It's not my forte. It's so difficult to like make any money. I don't know how people do it. And people like, they bare their souls in it. And it's crazy because, you know, you don't get paid anything from Spotify. And also there's just so much stuff out there. It's not like the old days where, you know, you get on radio and it's radio play and then you go to the music press and you're in Spin and Rolling Stone and the NME. I don't even know how people do it. There are some of my favorite artists, they release stuff. I don't even know that they've released albums. You just don't hear about it. It's not the same. So she's actually currently the keyboard player in Morrissey's band. So she goes on tour with Moz. And she's in a band with Nikolai from The Strokes. And, you know, she plays with Adam Lambert. So she's a musician, an incredible musician. For me, it was just like, let's just write stuff and use it as an outlet to kind of like get out emotions. And this whole, I don't know, record that we wrote is going about just pretty much going through a breakup from that period of time. And it just kind of stuck.
So do you find it easier to get your emotions out musically rather than on set, on a roll? If you're
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
an
I
emotional-
use my emotions. I use like personal experiences during like tough times or good times to channel certain emotions, but I'm not thinking about them when I'm the character. There's different like methodologies. There's like emotion memory, which certain actors use where they like really focus in on a specific memory and use it in that moment.
Method.
Yeah, it's a type of method. And I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but when I'm preparing, I'll be like, oh, I should pull from this. And then you have emotional recall that I don't have to think about the specific memory, but that
It's
feeling,
just a moment or
it's a second and it will get me there. Music allows me, it brings me stimulation of like really honing in on that. It's like lamentation of, I don't know, like of misery, which we all like to do at times, you know.
Lamentation of Misery. I like
Yeah,
that.
that sounds like an album cover.
The name of my new album. Yes. Morrissey, Lamentation of Misery.
Yeah. Actually, it works.
Did you have any mentors like growing up or anyone that you worked with that really helped you hone in your skills, whether it be acting or music or?
My godfather was an actor. He died when I was, I don't know, I was like 18, 19. But he was an amazing actor. He was in Braveheart, actually.
No, who in
He's-
Braveheart? It's one of my
he's-
favorite films.
He's the bad guy. He's Edward. He's the king. Yeah, he was amazing. My dad worked with him when I was a kid, and he would come to my house in London, and he would recite Shakespeare soliloquies to me, which I thought was hilarious. Mummy, why is this man talking so funny? But he was always very optimistic and always pushed me, and he was like, you should go to drama school and you should be an actor, and I was just so in awe of him. He was famous for playing the character the prisoner, and little known fact about him, he was Scottish. He is the only person to turn down James Bond twice. He didn't want to play him.
Why?
He played another character called Secret Agent Man, Danger Man, and he felt it was too similar. So he turned it down. I
That's-
guess probably like when Dr. No happened, then later when Roger Moore took over.
Did he regret it?
No, I don't think he cared
Well,
that much.
twice. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not gonna. If you did regret it, you're not gonna.
No.
You know.
first time you
yeah,
might be like,
yeah. You'd be
"Eh."
like, oh shit.
Yeah, you
And then
don't
the
look a
second
gift
time,
horse in the
yeah,
mouth.
fine. No, he really
Wow.
did not want to be James
No,
Bond.
and I was super lucky to be in his orbit. And so he was an inspiration. I also was very lucky to grow up watching really great movies. And I think we also grew up in a time where there was exceptional movies coming out of the cinema.
What is your favorite movie, if you have one?
It's a toss up between two, and they both have very similar names. Weirdly, one is Saturday Night and Sunday Morning, which is a British movie from the early '60s with Albert Finney, and the other one is Saturday Night Fever.
No,
It's incredible.
that's a great one.
It's
Yeah.
so good. The soundtrack is amazing, but the filmmaking and everyone in that movie, Travolta, is unbelievable. And it also it's such an amazing look at a specific subculture of a specific time. It's an amazing time capsule of a time of New York in the late 70s and the vibrancy around it and the disco era, and also this social and economic decay that was going on in the city, which obviously is the opposite to now, but you will never see anything like it.
Would you have liked to have lived in those times?
Yes, I think a lot about those times. I romanticize that era a lot. I do think, though, maybe I might be dead, though. I don't be able to see the end of it.
Yes.
I don't know.
Gotten into some trouble
It
and-
was so heady. I have friends who lived in that era. My castmate and dear friend Derek Bogosian,
Oh, what a legend.
aka the older me. And that's how we bonded originally. I would just listen to him tell stories of New York.
You're uncanny. You could be his son. I mean, you do look.
Maybe I am. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. What was I doing in the late 80s?
Yeah.
He's married. He wasn't. He's nowhere near my mother. I promise you. But just to hear him tell stories and just to listen is just fascinating. He's so effervescent. I tell him, you've got to write a book or an audio book. Gosh, if he did an audio
Oh,
book.
his voice. Yeah.
Maybe if I narrated it, just the 70s part, that would be really
Actually,
great. And
that
then
would
he
be
could
great.
come in from the
You
90s
should
onwards.
definitely
This needs to
pitch that
happen.
him.
This needs to
Yeah.
happen. I got to
Yeah.
call Bogo and ask him.
I have a question about green lights. I don't know if you've read Matthew McConaughey's book.
Yes.
Yeah, his audiobook is amazing.
Yeah.
And he talks about in life, there's all these bumper stickers along the way and these green lights and these open doors. Performing is obviously in your blood. You come from a family of creatives, clearly. So is it that sometimes in life, do you think that doors have opened because you're on the right path and you're going, on the journey that you need to go down? Or is it just hard work? You know what you want. You're plugging away. You're working through the steps to get there. You've got your North Star, your goal, and that's where you want to be? Or do you think that this is meant for me and this is why these doors are opening?
I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
I think you have to work hard. I think if you don't work hard, then you get found out really quickly.
Yeah.
You might have an opportunity, but if you don't make the most out of it, then, either your performance isn't great or people just don't like working with you because you didn't do what you were meant to do. In any other job, I think you have to approach it being professional. In everything that I approach, I'm professional. Whether it's being a son, whether it's being a friend, like you have to be on top of things. You know, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in your craft, consistent with your attitude, consistent with how you treat people. I think it's the most important thing. And then things do happen. Yes, of course, like getting yourselves in the right places and the right scenarios, of course, but people just want to work with people that they can trust, and they know they're going to do a good job, and they know that they work hard. And I just think that's super important. Just that's my North Star, is to be as consistent as possible within my work ethic.
How much do you think it's who you know? Do you think that plays a huge element, or?
You still got to do a great job, you know. Someone could open the door for you, but if you don't do a good job and you don't walk in correct, you ain't going to get the call again.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some people who are way more fortunate because, you know, they have the connections or their parents or whatever. But I think, you know, people are very discerning these days. And I think people have found out a lot quicker. So you better come correct, you know?
Yeah, you still got to pull out the bag. Otherwise,
absolutely.
You've got to be able to prove that you
I
can
always say,
handle it.
like, maybe I go back to a football analogy. Like, you might have one game you score a hat trick and it's amazing. And then you might not score for the next 3 seasons. And people are like I was a one-hit wonder. What's
Only
the
as
point?
good as your last performance.
Yeah, and you're also only as good as your next. You know, that's what people say. Like, yeah, people be like, oh, I loved you in this. What are you doing next? And it's terrible when you don't have an answer to that.
What are you doing next?
I'm very sort of fortunate that I can plug 3 movies this year.
Tell us.
I'm in this true World War I movie where it's about the first deserter of the British Army, and he gets sent to trial, and it was really cool, and it's all set in the prison camp in World War I. So again, like learning all about like the conditions of prisons and how the British Army treated, you know, its own soldiers. And this is a true case, and really diving into that. That was really interesting. And also learning, trying to find the voice, a specific voice for a character, because they don't talk in like modern vernacular. So that was really cool. And watching a lot of movies that are about the First World War really helped me, and reading about the British Army. I didn't really know a lot about it. You kind of, at school, you have like a sort of,
it's a brush over.
it's a brush over. You're like,
you know,
oh yeah,
like
First
2
World
classes
War.
on, like,
Exactly.
because they got to fit it all in.
They got to fit it in real quick.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know a lot about it. I knew it was started because of the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, which one of my favorite bands is named after, and kind of went from it from there. So that's cool. And then the thing I'm really excited, which I think comes out at the end of the year around Halloween, is Video Killed the Radio Star.
I can't wait to see this.
Which is cool. It's going to be really great. It's a period horror movie set in the late 70s. It's like The Shining meets talk radio, which is Eric Bogosian's big film, directed by Oliver Stone. And I'm really excited for it. And we had a great time making it. I did it with an actress called Harriet Keynes, who's in Bridgerton. And it's pretty much a 2-hander, and it's all set in this radio station over the course of what happens over New Year's Eve 1979. We play a lot of great music in it. And I'm really actually
Perfect role for you.
It's perfect.
Really.
It couldn't have been better.
Even the time period.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
like, there we go.
It's great. I never thought I'd ever wear flares, but I'm really comfortable in them now.
You know, I think they would suit you somehow.
I like a bell bottom. It's good.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you in bell bottoms before.
Potentially.
I vaguely remember that.
I used to wear bell bottoms.
You
all the
do?
time. No, like when
I think you should bring it
back
back.
in
You
the
bring
day.
it back?
My mum used to sew a lot of my clothes, and she made me these flower lycra bell bottoms
Wow.
that
Do
I
you still
used
have
to.
them?
Maybe I do.
Them out.
She made them for myself and my stepsister, and we both walked around in bell bottoms when I was like 14 years
I
old.
like
don't
it.
know
Very
if that
Brady
was-
Bunch.
Yeah,
I feel it,
Yeah,
yeah.
a little bit older.
Did you have an influence on, like, did you get to pick any of the music for that film, or was that a separate kind of?
It was already written into the script. I also think when you're doing stuff, like, you've already had to get it cleared. One would hope anyway. But it was stuff that I was already into. And again, I did research. I like to make playlists when I get into character,
Ooh,
That's
interesting.
great.
because it really brings you into like the point of reference and the view, and also like culturally what was going on at the time. I did that for Daniel Malloy in Interview with the Vampire.
So what was the playlist?
It was just all stuff that had come out between like 70 to 73. The initial interview with Louis is set in 1973. So Daniel was a journalist and is very much on the pulse of things. So it was stuff that was like, maybe that wasn't too mainstream, like the New York Dolls and Nico and like krautrock like Can. And yeah, I love that music anyway, but to really listen to it and to find stuff that I felt would inspire the character, but also like what type of music was affecting him, affected his mood, his day-to-day stuff, what he would listen to when he went home, what he put on in the first thing in the morning, you know, what he smoked to, what he ate to, what he had sex to. So it really helped me get into character big time.
Oh, you deep dive.
Big time. With all my roles. And it was the same for Video Killed the Radio Star. It was a lot of like, even though I don't love it, it was like progressive rock, like Yes and Asia and, you know, stuff that I don't love, but also some really cool stuff like Chicago and The Cars and Blondie and stuff.
So when you're not working on film sets or creating music, what do you do to keep your mindset in check and to fill, you know, the in-between moments, the space between projects?
Yeah.
What do you do
Constantly
with yourself?
learning.
Yeah.
I try and watch a movie a day.
Maybe
Okay.
a day.
Yeah, it's super important. I keep a list of everything I've watched since the pandemic. It's pretty sad.
I
but
would like that list, please.
It's so long and
Please send
it's
me that
heady.
list.
I will do for sure.
Is it a real mix of genres and
Yeah, it was the stuff that I just find. Like, when I came back to London, first thing I did was I went on BBC iPlayer and I just created my watch list. And they have some like amazing British movies that I'd never seen before. And that's what I actually love about like streamers. Like, yeah, you can watch like the latest, you know, whether you're watching Adolescence or whatever, but
Oh,
it's the
so
catalog
good.
of films behind, you know, the main, you know, like what's new on Netflix. It's like, well, what have you got that's still catalog that maybe I haven't seen before? That I think it's super important for actors to have a film language that you can talk to a director and you say, well, you know, and cite movies. Like, is it like Don't Look Now, or is it like, you know, The Shining or whatever it may be, or Barry Lyndon? Because, you know, I'm a film nerd, I'm a music nerd, and I think it's important to like discuss this. And all great art, we're saying before, all great art should invoke conversation.
if you were to write a soundtrack or a film score for a director, who would you write for?
Oh my gosh.
That's a tough question.
You know, I've
You
always
can, you can handle it.
I think the greatest soundtrack of all time is Marie Antoinette.
Okay.
I think what she did, Sofia Coppola, was so cool, was having post-punk, but putting it in a 18th century reference, using certain songs with, you know, orchestral arrangements. I think that's really clever and great. It's not like Bridgerton where you've got like, I don't know, a string version of Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. You know, it's fun, it's cool. I just was like so heavily influenced by that. I love that. It's like such a difference of putting this like raw, angular post-punk sound into something so classical and beautiful. So I would like to do something like that if I did that. Yeah, I'm going to keep with that answer.
That's why I love Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet,
I
because
was
of
gonna
his
say
spin and that
Yeah.
album, at the soundtrack that he did for that film. It's got some of my favorite bands and artists in it, but that's one of the reasons why I did music.
Yeah.
That soundtrack inspired so much, and I think it was that juxtaposition of like Shakespeare and modernizing it and putting all this kind of garbage on there, and like my favorite Radiohead song. And so it's amazing how a soundtrack can really
Change everything. And
make
it's
you
also
fall
so
in love.
memorable.
Yeah.
music in general just makes you, you know, just some memories. It brings back memories and moments from your life where you can remember exactly where you were
Yeah.
when you heard that song, how it made you feel.
Yeah.
You know, you can put on a soundtrack and listen and be like taken back, right back to when you were 5 or when, you know, you
It's
were at dinner.
incredible.
It's like
It's some of the
nothing
best
like
feelings
it.
when you hear a song on the radio and you're like, this reminds me of a relationship.
Yeah, like,
or it
wow, this
reminds
hit
me of
hard, or-
Yeah, big time. And there are certain songs. I use songs, if we talked about emotional memory before, I have a certain playlist and I'll use songs and it will make me cry immediately. Just hearing the first bar.
Yeah.
I'll just start shedding tears. I actually, we did that on Interview with the Vampire, especially in the more emotional scenes between Armand and I. I've talked about this before, but Assad would listen to, I think he was listening to orchestral stuff, and I was listening to certain stuff, Jeff Buckley and Nico at the time, and it just like, I knew I could immediately go. And just by listening to him and feeling like I was in a trance, I would immediately cry. It was super important.
Have you got a song like that you can listen to and it just sets you off straight away?
I think it's not necessarily songs, it's the vocalists. There's certain voices that like set me off. And I think if you can, if some singers just have that connection where they can just make me, if I go to a gig and I don't get like emotionally, if I don't get the goosebumps, then I've left feeling a little bit disappointed. So like there's certain, off the bat, there's a singer called Aurora who is, it's more sort of pop, alternative pop, but like I went to see her and I've never seen her connection to an audience. Everyone was just crying their eyes out. It was the last concert I saw before lockdown and I was crying my eyes out. Is there any shows that you guys have been to where you've been like particularly moved? I know you go to a lot of live music, like a lot.
I mean, I had a song that I can listen to and immediately it's called Butterfly Kisses. And right now the artist is gone from my mind, but my dad, when I was little, my dad left America when I was 6 years old, and he told me that song, whenever I hear it, it's like our song, you know. So when I was a kid, I used to play it on loud. So sad. This is so sad. I'm so sorry, but I used to play it like loud and listen to it as a kid when I was at home by myself, and it used to just make me cry. And that's a song that even now, if I turn it on straight away, it's a story about a father and a daughter. But yeah, I play that. So I used to use that as well in my acting.
Yeah.
I just need to hear the beginning
That's
and
it.
boom,
It's,
walk on, and
yeah.
I'm done for. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
You know, it's already.
It's already there. I understand. I can't. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm gonna say exactly what songs do
No,
it for me. Otherwise, people
you
might
don't
start
need
playing
to.
it. Right, and then I'll just start
I
bawling.
know.
I've been in like shopping centers and hearing a specific song in a shop, and I have to leave the store.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like it's like a jolt reaction. I cannot help it.
Are there any songs that you've written that you can't perform because it's too? Because obviously you wrote about heartbreak and
Yeah, I think now it's like it's been so long. It's like a separation, but it's nice when other people like talk to you about it and say, "I really understand the words you were saying, and like it made me feel this way." And that's part of our job. Like that's a job successfully done. You know. I don't think I've ever cried at a concert, but I've definitely felt moved, like very much moved, like the hairs on the back sort of standing up. I remember going to see Leonard Cohen with an orchestra, and
so jealous.
it was amazing, and you just felt the power. I remember seeing David Bowie and again feeling the power. I was doing Life on Mars.
Wow.
I've been very lucky to see like some really legendary acts that are no longer with us. And then there's just more like personal stuff where you're watching it and you're like, this means so much to me. And no one can really take that away from you. I'm trying to think like what specifically. I'm trying to think of something a bit more modern that would make. I mean, I saw Franz Ferdinand the other day, and I first saw them in 2004. And
Wait, did you see them at Tea in the Park as well?
no, I saw them at Brixton Academy.
Oh, okay.
I never went to Tea in the Park. I always wanted
Such a
to.
good festival.
Yeah, it was a great, from what I hear. Yeah.
Tea in the Park was like the biggest music festival in Scotland, and when Franz Ferdinand made it, they did their first. They headlined. Oh no, they weren't. They didn't headline, but they did. They were on the main stage, and I've never seen. They're from Glasgow. I've never seen an audience like crowd go.
Yeah.
That whole. Everyone was jumping. It was mental.
Yeah.
They're so good.
It's having that community experience. It's like going to see a movie and everyone laughs or everyone gasps. And and even the other day, and seeing them at the Wilton in Los Angeles, it just felt like, wow, I've been watching this band for 21 years and I still feel like a 15-year-old. It's so cool. It's so nice.
Oh, well, on that note, we actually have some quickfire questions.
Okay.
Very quickly. Those are yes, no, maybe questions.
Okay.
You can elaborate
Yes.
if you'd like.
If you'd like to elaborate,
Okay.
you may.
Good. Okay. Yes,
Okay.
no, maybe.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Have you ever faked an accent to get out of trouble?
90% of my life. But also, I will
What's the go-to accent?
Well, it's funny, like, if I'm not in a great mood or somebody comes up to me and I'm not sure what their deal is, I'll always put a Scottish accent on. Hey there, pal, what's going on? You good there? And then people are like sort of taken back because they weren't, especially in America, they weren't. And I've had friends who are like, where did that come from? And I'm like, just involuntary. It just happens.
it just comes out.
Yeah. So, quite often. So if you ever meet me on the street and there's some accent that just pulls out, I'm really sorry.
His Scottish accent's better than mine, I'd say.
I just take inspiration from yours.
Yeah, there we go.
You and Alan Hansen.
Alan Hansen, have you ever cried watching your own performance?
No. I've cried in a movie I was in. Cried in Jojo Rabbit. I mean, I've got 2 ears and a heart, of course, That bit with Scarlett Johansson and the shoes is... I mean, I knew what happened, but like when the first time I saw that, it was gut-wrenching. It was, it was amazing, but it was so sad. So, but not me personally. No.
Not yet.
Not yet. I don't think so. No.
Because it's like when you watch yourself, technically, like, I was doing that. Oh, maybe I could have done that better. I don't believe myself there. I don't know. That's what goes through my.
I'm exactly like
yeah,
that. I don't have
critique.
a problem watching it, but
Yeah.
you critique and then you just have to throw it away and go, well, it exists. And, if one person is happy with it, then that's great. You made somebody's day. Then that's so
Exactly.
awesome,
Yeah,
It's so cool. Like, we do this because we want to entertain.
exactly. And by then it's so far out of your control that you just have to be
Oh.
like, yeah, okay, I'm giving it up now. That's
Exactly.
it. It's done.
But we're super lucky. There's millions of people around the world that try and do what we do and just to have opportunities to do it. I'm so grateful, It's amazing.
Your go.
Ooh.
Have you ever gone through someone's bookshelf and silently judged them?
Record collection.
Oh, fair.
Record collection. Yes. I remember I dated this girl and I went through a record collection and I was just not about it.
Did it give you the ick?
He gave me the ick.
Oh,
Why? What
I
was...
tell I really don't. I'm just not really into like EDM.
Okay, fair, yeah.
And I
can
just
resonate
like,
with
I was like, we're just on 2 different planes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel bad about it. Like, what a music snob. Like, what are you doing? But yeah.
Interesting that she had EDM vinyl.
Yeah.
It's kind of unusual.
I think, I don't know what the deal was. Like,
Is she DJ?
I think she was like super into like trance and EDM, and I just know nothing about that. And it's a very specific, world and subculture and lifestyle. And I just was like,
It's a really good way for you to date, though, because
there should be a music app for dating.
Yes,
yeah,
there should.
Yeah, all you
Right.
have to do is ask people their taste in music, and then it's a no-brainer. It's
Exactly.
Like, nope, I'm not going there. Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
a hell yes.
I believe there's a great track in every genre.
That's a fair thing.
That
There's a great
fair.
song in
whether or
every
not,
genre.
It's just
so-
whether or
Should
not
find
you
it.
want to, yeah.
So you
find
can
it.
learn a
Deep
lot from
dive.
someone, but
Which
yeah.
is also cool. Like, I'm not against it. I think sometimes I'm just a little bit of a musical snob, and I just don't want to investigate. But you're right. But there should be a music like dating app, like
Yeah, there should
record
be, yeah.
collection or
Let's
something.
start it, guys.
Yeah.
Let's start it on the Yes No
Heard it
Maybe app.
Yes, no,
exactly.
maybe.
First,
Yeah.
yes.
Is it yours or mine?
It's yours.
It's yours.
Do you secretly think Brits have a romantic advantage just because of the accent? English boy in LA, come on.
I think when I went to college in LA, people were so struck by the accent, and then they'd be like, "Say something." And you're like, "What?" Like, say something. Like, hello, hi. Do you know the Queen? No. Do you know Hugh Grant? know. Do you know like we have friends at the Joneses, Maggie and Rob Jones. They live in Willesden. Do you know them? There's 12 million people in London. I don't know the Joneses, but I'm sure they're great people. I think they used to be. I don't think so. I think the world's a lot smaller. There's a lot of English people, so European people in LA. I think people are always excited and interested by our, island of a country. It is amazing that there's so many places in the world have royalty, but yet everyone focuses upon our royal family. And we export so much culture. We brought the best music to around the world. We have the best actors, the best art, and it is quite amazing. So that's really cool. So I think people are just genuinely like fascinated. And also you meet a lot of Anglophiles, which is great because they know stuff about this country I have no clue about.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So that's really cool.
Scottish accent wasn't sexier. I say the English probably. Depends what.
I don't know. How does it go down in America with you with Scottish accents?
People think I'm Irish, or they think that I'm American. I think they wouldn't, and they think Scotland's in England. So,
Jeez.
People think I'm British, or if I say I'm from South Africa, I get you're from Africa.
Whoa.
There's tigers there. I'm like, no, we don't have tigers. Okay, last one. Have you ever snuck out of a dull industry event and ended up having the best night somewhere random?
Yes, I did. I can't remember what the industry event was, but I remember I went to karaoke and it was incredible.
what's your song?
I have a few songs. Every Breath You Take, The Police.
Oh.
It's a good one. Yeah, but if you can nail that like sting raspiness and then get to the high note.
You see, you two in karaoke, it's an unfair advantage. I can't even. Like,
karaoke.
yeah.
I was going to
yeah,
say,
but
I
if
didn't think you did karaoke.
But if
I
you
won't do it.
did, you'd be the person that gets
Do a
up
duet.
and then breaks it down, and everyone's like,
Yes.
just keep singing.
But then you don't want to be like too good at it because everyone's like, ugh, show off.
I know.
You want to have like jokes with it,
Yeah, fine. You've got to find the happy medium.
The other song I'm strangely quite good at, I don't really talk about this very often, is It Wasn't Me by Shaggy.
Go on, you've got to do it.
No.
One day,
Got
someday.
me on the
There is like video
Wasn't
of
me.
it somewhere.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I like spent the summer.
Do you put the accent on?
I could do a good Shaggy impression. Yeah. Exactly.
I love how I'm not the singer.
It's
and
good
I've
though.
just-
It's good.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
good.
vibe.
You always need someone to hit that chorus, you know?
Shaggy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like trying with all my might not to do it. I think I spent the summer of 2001 learning all of those words or deciphering what those words were.
I remember driving to school with that on the radio and dying inside with my mum hearing that.
Yes.
And my
Even
mum
with the
driving
girl
it was
next
really
door,
loud.
I'll be
and
like,
I'd be like,
Yeah, banging on whatever, or banging on the bathroom
yeah.
floor.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to like
Also,
laugh to
Backstreet
myself.
Boys, when they go, am asexual.
Yes.
I used to go silent
Such a
on that
tune.
line. I used to like sing the rest and go silent because
Isn't it
my
funny,
parents
like,
were around.
when you're like 12, 13, 14, like that, those specific words
Yeah.
alluding to sex
Yeah.
or your parents, you're like,
Oh no,
it's
I
like a
just
secret that you only know about, and you're like, you didn't hear that, right? Like they have no idea what's going on. It's crazy.
I spent about 6 months learning all of Avril Lavigne's songs.
Oh, I used to have such a mad crush on
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne.
Really?
Mad.
I never
Avril
got
Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Skater Boy, that whole thing.
I wasn't an
Complicated.
emo, I was more
I'm
of a
with
goth.
you. You were more of a goth?
Mm,
Were you into like the Rasmus?
the Cure.
Oh,
Erasmus. I don't even know.
Do you remember the Rasmus?
No.
I can't remember how the song goes. I just remember that.
I was an emo goth vibe as well in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a dog collar? Like a
I didn't go
serious
that
dog collar
far.
with,
My
like-
mom was all freaked out by all that stuff. So I had a friend who had one, and she arrived to our house with a dog collar and eyeliner drops down her face and like dark eyeliner, and she had some hectic stuff written on her bag. And she arrived and she rang the doorbell. My brother answered and he opened the door and he just shut the door. He came back in and
No
he was like,
thank you.
Kendall, there is something out there. You know, my family were freaked out by it. So I didn't go fully in.
Did you go fully in, Anna?
Yeah. I don't think the goth has ever left.
Did you have hair like Robert Smith from The Cure? Is that what?
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm
My
just
hair's
saying.
always been fairly boring, to be fair. I never dyed it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Thanks, pal.
No worries,
Cheers.
pal. It's all good, pal.
Oh, guys, this is
Thanks
nice.
for coming
Of
on.
course, my pleasure. It's so nice to be here.
You know, one of my favorite memories with you was when actually it was records. We went because Jess was looking for records for
Yeah,
the show,
that's
and you
right.
kindly said she could use your records, and then you sat with me and you went through the script, through the interview with the
That's right.
vampire,
Some of the season 1 stuff.
and then you
have to
asked
come
me
out.
to do it with you, and I'm not an actor, and I was mortified. But it was
You
one
were
of
like,
my-
can you do the Malloy voice? I was
yeah,
like,
it was
in
so
my
good.
bedroom. I was like,
And
yeah.
it was as a geek, like an interview with the vampire geek. It was one of my like memories I will always cherish.
I
It
really
was such a
appreciate
really
that.
cool thing that you did.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate that. That's really cool.
And
That's
your house is just gig posters everywhere.
Yeah, I've been collecting for like
epic.
15 years.
Like really, really epic.
Cool.
all like posters from like the 70s, 75 onwards.
That's
it's
amazing.
vibes.
Scour the world for them, but it's cool. I love
Well,
it.
what a fun thing to do.
Yeah, that was a really
There's-
fun time actually. That's
That
right.
was cool.
Jess must have picked up like 20 records, and rather than buying them from Amoeba or somewhere, it was like we might
You
as well
just
buy-
lent them, which was so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you know, I appreciate that. You do a good deed, and you know maybe it'll happen to you.
Yeah.
And now I'm here, so I
No.
did a
Yeah.
good deed, and then a good deed happened to me.
Never showing you my record collection in case you judge me
What's
heavily.
on there?
No, there's some good stuff.
There's some
on
good
there.
stuff in there,
There's some good stuff.
like Scottish stuff. Edmund Collins, Proclaimers.
There's some good. Not Proclaimers. Sorry.
Got to sort that out.